Hey guys, happy Sunday. And let me bring up our wonderful and special friend Takeout. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Hanging in there, just getting ready to do some birthday celebration that's belated and just listen to some calls
Yeah.
and, you know, watched your stream for a little bit. It was cool.
Yep. I'm
So,
on a mission.
yes. And when you're on it, you get started. So again,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us today. So that way we can have our wonderful friend here who's from the UK who's joining us. And let's bring up the wonderful and famous Dan Gleeballs.
Hey, everybody.
Dan! Hey! Hello,
How we doing?
hello. We're doing all right. How about yourself?
Very good, thank you. Very, very good.
Well, I like your background. It's really cool.
Just a small Scambaiter most people have never heard of before.
Yeah, very true.
No, I'm playing.
There's a lot of truth from that.
Yeah.
Nah.
Hey.
Kit Boga's heard of you.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, now you're the UK Boga, as we hear. Hello,
Yeah,
Vision. So again, just thank you so much for joining us. And we will have the pleasure of speaking with you for the next hour. And that way everyone will get a chance to know a little bit about what you do, what is your why kind of thing, and, just kind of a little bit of history and where you're going to go from here. So anyway, I appreciate Takeout for joining us today as well. And that way we get a chance to talk to the famous Dan Gleeballs, which my husband, I was telling him that I was going to talk to you today. And he goes, Dan Gleeballs, are you talking about dangle balls? I was like, oh my God, had to go perverted, I don't know if that was like your intent or not, but that was his thought. So anyways, do you want us to tell us about a little kind of how did you get into scam baiting? Like what?
Yeah. So I was on lockdown and I was on furlough for like 18 months and I was losing my mind, going absolutely bonkers. And I kind of had a couple of random phone calls just after Christmas in 2021. And I found myself just not being too clever, giving personal details over. And then sort of midway through, just hung up. I was just like, why did I do that? I called the number and pretended to be someone else just to see where the call got me. And I kind of enjoyed it. I got a bit of a kick from it. And then over the next few weeks, I was watching Atomic Shrimp, and he does a really good John Barossa sketch with some random scammer, which most likely Nigeria or something, I guess. And I was fascinated by it. So I reached out to him and he showed me where to get scam numbers. I created an email and I started doing that. But then that wasn't enough. And that random phone call that I had, I was always coming back to that. And then, of course, I discovered Jim Browning after watching a few videos on social media and just discovered Scammer Payback and Kit Boga. And it was just like it all spiraled from there. I think it was my fourth call. I got my first bank account and I was just like, oh, that was actually quite easy. If you just agree and pretend to be someone that you're not, it's actually quite an easy process if you play the victim. And yeah, we're just crazy stuff from there on.
Dang. So did you go ahead and report? Sorry. Did you report that bank account and stuff?
Yeah, it took me a while because I didn't know how to do it. So after doing some research, talking to family members, I realized that you can do a search online to find out where the sort code is registered for. For you guys, I think it's Swift code or IBAN, and you can find out which bank's associated. So I gave them a call after being redirected 3 or 4 times, and really, really rushed in thought process. I finally managed to hand over the details, and it was a buzz. I really enjoyed kind of doing that, knowing that I'm hindering someone's operation. Someone might have been saved from it. So then I started sort of researching into it a bit more, and I started calling daily. I was sat on my backside at home. Our Prime Minister Boris Johnson at the time said, stay at home, I did. I sat on my house trying to do something positive.
Yeah.
And henceforth, this.
Wow. I mean, just from a phone call is how you got started.
Yeah.
Now, were you kind of an actor? I mean, just kind of,
Nope.
have you ever
A normal guy. That's it. That is still me through and far. Just a normal guy.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, how many characters do you have now that you kind
technically,
of
I've got 4. They're all a bit different. I'm still working on the voices themselves, and the settings are always getting tweaked. I don't feel so. For example, if you say for Takeout, you've got your character. Kit Boger's got his set characters. Mine are still, even though it's been the time that it has, I don't think that they're fully developed yet. I'm still finding my own feet. But stuff like the Stephen Fisher character, where I'll play the Norfolk guy. He comes from Norfolk. That's where I'm originally from, and they all talk like this. They're all farmers around that way.
Oh, wow.
And that's kind of one staple character, which I feel is going to always stay the same. But the others, always a little bit of a tweak here and there.
Yeah.
I think that's how. Go ahead. Takeout. Sorry.
It took me forever to get a character together. Because not only do you have to think of the name, you have to have some kind of backstory. And if you don't repeat that backstory enough, you're going to forget. So then whenever a scammer confronts you about something, you're not going to know what to say. So it just takes a while to build up that character and really know what that character is like.
Yeah, great.
That's true. And are you kind of sticking with a spreadsheet, like who you talk to, or or do you note stuff down just so that way in case a scammer calls you back, you'll know exactly which character you're playing at that time?
For myself, I got this thing about just saving stuff. So my trusty, wherever I put it, here we go. I've gone through like 10 booklets, and I just write everything down, everything. And I've got some sort of weird element where I've put them into separate books for separate scams. So I've got like a PCH book. I've got a refund book for, say, Amazon. I've got one for PayPal. So I've got all these books, and it kind of all twins in with the other. But when you start sort of speaking to people normally, like it's quite a weird thing. People always say that the Indian accent, it all sounds the same. When you speak to Indians all the time, it really doesn't. And you can notice the different sort of accents from the different part of the country itself. And especially you can start remembering who you've spoken to before. And it all kind of entwines like that. But most of it is all in my booklets. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's like a lot of the PCH guys. People say that they all sound the same. But after talking to them for so long, they don't all sound the same.
No, definitely not.
Kind of like the Andy Goldberg, one and Andy Goldberg 2.0. They sounded a little different. But you're right. It's like the more you do talk to them, it's, also it depends on where they're located. And that's why I love how you can find exactly where they're located. Very smart. Very smart. And that's the stuff that I think is awesome. And I know other people can do that in the back. And for you to say, hey, this is where this guy was calling from. And, here's the information about it. But, again, what is, and actually Takeout was talking about this too, is that with PCH, you have to be very, very, very careful in those, because they're very dangerous. And so when you did your PCH, do you feel like you would say the same thing to other people who are into scam baiting? Don't do PCH unless you know what you're doing?
Yeah, but PCH are a weird one. I always find that it's the thing is they don't really use tech. They rely solely on the natural element of persuasion. And this is where it really is dangerous, because they're talkers rather than communicators with software. They are more dangerous in that respect. So yeah, 100%. Like, it's with any type of scam, if you give it a research first, then you're going to come out on tops. If you go in blind, then you're going to mess up and things might happen. You never know.
Yeah.
Right.
I talk about it all the time, how you can get in over your head really fast with scam baiting. if you don't know what you're
Mhm.
doing. And I didn't do a whole lot of research whenever I first started. You know, it was like prank phone calls and stuff. Did you realize the magnitude of what you were getting into? Or was it just kind of you fell into it, fell in love with it, and then realized, you know, what was going on from there?
No,
Great question.
I fell in love with the script.
Yeah.
HMRC was my first thing. That's like the IRS scam for
Yeah.
yourselves. And I fell in love with the
Oh,
script and just
mhm.
playing that victim. It was everything that I wanted. And at that time, the UK was getting hit hard by these guys. So I'd wake up. I had like a set routine, which was great because I was just watching countless amounts of YouTube and Netflix at the time. So it gave us a purpose. So my alarm was set for 8:30, 9 in the morning. I was on the phone
Mhm.
with scammers all the way through till like 3, 4 in the afternoon. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And because that's how I feel like with the IRS, those were always the funnest. And then
I
I loved
love
it when,
those.
me
Yeah.
too. And then I love it when they're always saying that your car was found in Texas.
Yeah.
And then, there was so much other things found in the car, that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
and then I was like, okay, well, how much am I going to have to pay? Because I would play a single mother who had kids and a military husband who is no longer
Mhm.
around. And so they would tell me I had to pay like $5,000. I'm like, okay, but I get transferred so many times, but I haven't done an IRS call in a while, and I'm ready to do one again because those are,
Yeah.
like you said. And yeah, I like what Nick Nick said. That's funny.
No snow.
Yeah, that's true.
It always is. And just add on to that, we have for the UK version, we've got the South Border of Wales.
Yeah, that's what Chester told me, is that it's the same
Yeah.
thing as the IRS or the SSA,
Exactly the
but
same.
Mhm.
they just changed the location.
Mm-hmm. And they
Right.
like to say state as well, which we don't have states in the UK.
Yeah.
We've got counties, but yeah.
So TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Where do we begin with that?
Our first question is there a formula for how you blew up like you did?
No, I think it was one particular video. It was crazy, and I'll go back to the specific moment. I was on a phone call, and my friend said to me, "Is like, yeah, that video posted on TikTok. It's got quite big." I was at work with, and I finished the phone call, looked on it, and I was like, "Wow!" It was like 40,000 views. And
Right.
then I sort of
Wow.
refreshed the page a couple of minutes later, and it was another 6,000. And I
Damn.
refreshed it a couple of minutes later, it was another 10,000. And it went from like 0 to 1,000,000 in like 6 or 7 hours.
That's insane.
Wow.
It was just, I was trying to work, and all I know is that my phone was just blowing off. I didn't even turn off notification settings at that point. So
Yeah.
my phone died that day.
Yes, by
Yeah,
3:00 it died because
Yeah,
of
pretty much. Yeah, TikTok took over my phone that day. But no, yeah, it just blew up. That's it. One viral video, and I got, I think, about 30 or 40,000 followers within that specific day.
Right.
And then I realized that there was a little bit of a something there. So I started carrying on with what I was doing originally. And yeah, a few more videos, and I'm getting millions and millions and millions of views. And it just, yeah, every now and then I'll do one video and it'll just blow up. But the thing is like I'll personally create one of those videos, post it, and think, oh, this is going to do great. It'll get like 30, 40, 50,000 views, which is great.
Yeah.
But it's compared to what I really want it to do, it's nothing. Whereas I'll post a video and I'll be like, oh, it's terrible. No one's going to enjoy that. It's got like 6, 7, 8 million views, and it's I can't understand why. TikTok's a weird one. I've done all right so far. But
Yeah.
one thing is that Scambait Payback has just overtaken me, which I'm a bit disappointed in.
Oh,
you were bigger than Pierogi?
I was bigger than
Wow.
Pierogi for a
Damn.
long time. But no, he's overtaken me now, so understandable.
Yeah.
Well, you just, a little competition never hurts,
Yeah, it's all friendly competition.
Yeah.
But I think also, as we know, kids these days, the mindset, of like how long they want to watch something is so much shorter. So
Yeah.
I think that's why it helps. I mean, even YouTube says it's great to have shorts, so that way people will go to your channel and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So,
Mhm.
but again, I think you've done a great job, and especially to blow up like that. Holy cow!
Yeah,
And
TikTok. Last time I checked, a few days back, it was like 450,000 followers.
Yeah.
Biggest
wow.
video was like 11.3 or 4 million or something.
What was your first TikTok?
My first one was
Or the okay, well, yeah, your first TikTok.
Mhm.
I think it was definitely Scambaited related. I think it was grandma. I did like a grandma voice. I was using a soundboard. I just had this weird fart effect, and this guy was just like, I made that fart noise. I pretended that I pooped my pants, basically. And, yeah, I sort of ran into the toilet, and he wanted to stay on the call at the same time, and I was just like, no. I think that was probably the first one, but it got like 300 views, and I was like, yeah, that's awesome, 300.
Yeah.
And now it's just like the first 2 minutes of posting the video, I'll get like 3,000 views, and it's just
Yeah.
like it's nothing anymore. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
You always
Yeah.
want more, though. Always.
Now,
Well, we'll add some
the
more.
one that blew up, can I make an assumption and say that that's the cigarette police?
Yeah, the cigarette police of sunny UK. Yeah, Manchester to be specific, but yeah, they are all over the country. Private companies. Yeah.
What got you into calling them out?
Again, lockdown. I had a lot of time on YouTube.
Lockdown changes people.
Yes,
Yeah,
it does.
There's a guy that resides in Manchester called Charlie Veach, and I've watched a few of his videos, and I follow him. He's really, really good. Watch most of his content, and I just liked his approach on the fact that he's trying to save people from fines by educating them.
Mhm.
And effectively, in a nutshell, these guys are a private company. They work on behalf of the council. Now, you've got the freedom of movement, and you have the ability to not say a word to even the police unless you're detained. But technically, if you just walk away, there is nothing that they can do.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
what I do is I jump in and I educate people on this fact and guide them to just walk away. And that way, the private company doesn't get the £120 fine that it is.
I was
should
about
also
to
say, sorry.
I was about to say for one cigarette, but it's like $120.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
insane.
my
That is an expensive
gosh.
cigarette.
But only
Yes.
30 of that goes to the council. The 90 stays with the private company. That's what
Oh,
really annoys me.
Wow.
Like
right.
I work enough, but £120 would make a dent in my savings or my finances, and it would tip me over. It's crazy. The UK at the minute, I don't know if you guys watch, but we're in a severe crisis in regards money and financials and so forth. We're not doing as good as Russia, and look at the state they're in. But the whole element is that money is scarce, and it's a private company profiting in a bad way. So it's two elements. It's number one is that I like to save people and help people, and number two, I just know that might destroy someone's month. They might be put severely in debt because of that specific thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice of you to help out.
Have you ever gotten police involved with that? Like, has one of them ever given you so much of a problem that the police got involved and they kind of sided with you?
They have. So I've not released a video yet. And basically, I was assaulted by one of the staff members, and I've got everything on camera. And I did a subject access request, and I've got their side of the footage, and it's of her assaulting me and him recording as well. So 3 angles, me recording, and those 2 cameras. And she made an allegation of assault towards myself. I was detained and searched, but because I knew I was in the right, I didn't give my details. And I showed them the footage of her assaulting me, and nowhere did it show me assaulting her. So that's what happened. So that's a thing in process at the moment. I don't know where it's going to take me, because I have sort of looked at legal support and advice for stuff, but it's the costs that are involved with the legal side of things is crazy.
Oh,
I might just post it on TikTok and just leave it as that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chat, Dan Gleeball's TikTok is in chat. So go follow so you can see that video, because I want to see that video. That's going to be interesting.
I put a snippet out. It's I think it's my most recent one. I've slowed it all down, but yeah, she's not a happy lady.
Oh, I bet not.
Yeah.
It's always, it's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah, I want to see that. That's going to be good.
Now, is there some other projects doing, like you and Takeout kind of storming up, brewing up?
We have been
anything?
talking today, and yeah, we are definitely going to do something together. There's a couple of things. Number one, I'm really struggling for time to do stuff like collaborations. There is so much going on behind the scenes. And for the viewers that aren't really aware of the whole Scambait Insider stuff, is that you guys only see the finished product in regards videos and however we spend the time and design those and put them out. But there is so much going on behind the scenes. It's unreal. I'm doing maybe 40 hours a week just scambaiting, and only 7 hours of that is actually recording and editing videos. The rest of it is just stuff behind the scenes. This is the great thing. We've got a wonderful team that I'm working with, and so many cool things are happening.
Yes. I saw where you teamed up with, of course, Chester behind the bars. And she's great. I love that.
Yeah, but he's amazing. Chester's amazing.
Chester's hilarious. I love Chester, and I love Behind the Bars. I think her videos are great, and when you do have a great team to support, you're absolutely correct. I mean, not everyone can do certain skill sets, and
Well, this is it, is that we all complement each other. So I'm working with Chester, who's kind of like the dad of the group, if you like, that keeps us all in check, but also really participates inside of the tech side of stuff. You've got Tony Mosh, who is just a bank account hoarding king. This guy's beaten me on the volume of accounts he's got. He's crazy, but he doesn't really release footage, which we're all hoping might change slightly. You got B that's coming in, who's just reporting information here, there, and everywhere, like shutting down numbers day in, day out, and it's just because she wants to do it. And the footage she brings to the table is fantastic.
Yeah,
and you've got people like Recon and Nanobeta, who we're trying to work with more closely. That I've got the tools and skill sets that I can't say what their availability to do under the table, what it actually is. But generally, everyone's complementing each other. There's another guy with us, PBD, who's been supporting us since day one. He's helping report numbers and so forth. And it's just everyone's a team. Everyone's pitching in. Everyone's got different elements. It's really, really cool. We've got a great group.
Definitely.
While we're talking about the British takeover, I heard an interesting story about Dan when y'all got together.
Yes.
Oh, that was a good night. That was a really good night. Really good.
We heard some things, and it was fantastic. I just wish it was on video.
I do too.
I was like, did y'all video anything? And of course, I love the picture where you guys are wearing the bag over your hat.
Yeah, neep masks. Yeah, we had to.
Yeah, I was like, you guys were doing the neep thing,
Yes, yeah. That was really cool. It was like a well overdue get together. A few of us had never met in real life, and I'd never seen Tony Mosh's face before, so that was cool. I speak to this guy almost daily, never even seen his face before.
Yeah,
so it's kind of it was really, really nice. Because of all the time we spent together, we just got on instantly. It was great.
Right.
Aww, I love
Do Chester and B look like you thought they would?
That's a very good question.
Because every time I hear Chester's voice, I have this image in my head of what I think he looks like. And I just want to know if you were accurate in your thought on what he looked like.
No, he didn't.
No,
I can't put a specific thing. I'm generally trying to think of some physical face I could think of when I heard his voice originally and worked with him, but no, he definitely didn't. B looked nothing like I thought she did, like nothing at all.
Really?
And there's no descriptive term to explain what I thought she'd look like. She just doesn't. That's all it was.
Yeah.
I'm assuming a lot of people thought that about myself as well.
I did.
Yeah,
I did. You don't look like what I thought you would.
No. And when I met Fungi for the first time, he lives really close to me as well. We'd never met before. He just looked up at me. I'm 6'5", so I'm pretty damn tall. Yeah.
That's
and he just looks up
yeah.
and he goes, "You're a lot taller than I thought you'd be."
Yeah, 6'5". That's really tall, especially to someone
I'm a giant.
I'm almost 5'2", so I'm short. And so I can imagine just looking up, going, "Holy cow!" But I think it's great that you guys are doing that, and I think now it's going to be a yearly thing. Or you're going to try to get together more often?
Yeah, 100%. I've already pushed for ideas for next location, and I like the idea of the Neep masks as well. It was nice to get Neep involved. Neep's amazing. The stuff he does for the community is fantastic.
Yeah.
So like, it was never to be a bit of a nod and thank you for what you do, but I hope in some way he saw it as that.
Right.
And that's the thing. There's so many people that, like you said, do the behind the scenes that don't get recognized, or they don't want to get recognized, which includes Nick Knack. He does not want to get recognized, but he does an amazing job in the back. And like Dex, he has a group helping him. And then Fungi has just amazing, group. And then we have Team SDS that has their group and the social engineering, the developers, those kind of things. And again, it's just, I don't know. It's just really cool. And like Takeout has his group. And so I think it's just amazing when it would be nice if we could all collaborate. I know some of us don't get the opportunity because of the locations. So of course you're going to find people who are actually, closer, but at the same time, it is just amazing to where we can say we're on the same mission. We're doing this together. And, but I love the fact that you just started doing this 2 years ago. And look look exactly where you are from the first call to now. And
generally, and I mean this, it's 100% fact. When I met Chester for the first time, I'd never used really a PC in my entire life. I was always a Mac guy because I just was. November 2021 was the first time that I met Chester, and he donated a PC to me. Somehow he saw something there, and we hung out. We spent the day together. It was great. And he showed me everything about it. And then from there, the natural curiosity and the want to get bigger and further and do more and get more and do this and do that. And I never stop. I never shut down. And then now it's a case of I've just invested a lot of money in this setup because I want to do it full time. So it's like without the notion of what Chester did that 13 months ago, this would never be as much as a thing as it is now. I'm just hoping that it drives to be bigger and better. I'm working with behind the scenes. I'm working with a lot of cool people, and it's a lot of big things are going to be happening this year. I promise you. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
I know a little bit about that. I'm not going to say anything, but I know a little bit about it.
Oh, darn it. You're not going to spill some of the... Oh, man. Well, the thing is, it'll keep us on our toes. So we'll just have to keep... Yeah.
There'll be news soon, and there'll be people in the news, if you like. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I talk to Nanobator a lot, and he tells me some stuff. So I keep it on the hush, though.
Me and Nanobator are working a lot together.
That's what I was about to say. That's who I forgot to list was Nanobator, because that's on your YouTube.
The incredible guy. The man's always at his computer. It could be whatever time it is in the day, the 4 a.m. UK time, which is like 6 hours behind. And he's on. It could be 7 o'clock in the morning for wherever he is in the world, and he'll still be available to jump on his PC and do it and help me out and set stuff up. It's amazing. It's the real support. It's really good.
It's rare to find somebody that's that committed to what we're doing. And Nanobator is always right there when I need him.
He is. He's helping the big guys. Scambait Beyond did a video the other day, and he gave a shout out to Nanobator. Jim's given many shout outs to Nanobator. Scambait is working, I think, directly with him on a few projects. There's so many cool things, but there's the people that work behind the scenes that don't get the shout outs. Again, there's so much going on.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
I didn't
That's so
realize
true.
how big the Scambait community was. Like, I remember whenever I first started, you may have felt the same way, and I'm kind of curious about this. Because you said you found Atomic Shrimp and
Mhm.
then Scammer Payback and Jim and Kit Boga.
Mhm.
Whenever I first started, I only knew about Scammer Payback and Kit Boga. And the only reason that I found Kit Boga was because I like voice impressions. You know, that's why I'm so
Nice.
happy that I'm able to do this now. I mean, I use a voice changer, so it's cheating, but I still call it a voice impression.
Right. I mean,
And
you're still
so,
adding to the inflectuation of her
yeah.
tone. Yeah.
So I guess because I used to watch so many voice impressionists on YouTube, I got recommended to watch Kit Boga. And then from there, I saw Scammer Payback. And I thought about it for like a year before I finally wanted to do it. I did my first video. It was a McAfee scam. He connected to my PC and stuff. And but I told my girlfriend, I was like, look, you know, I really want to do this. I was like, I think I can do this. And there's only 2 other scam baiters. You know, I was like, so it's just going to be me and those 2. And then I joined the community. I met CJ Scams. And then I was like, well, damn, there's a whole lot of y'all.
Yeah. There's loads. Everywhere in the world, everyone's got every sort of element covered. But the
I
bad
love
thing
it
is,
though.
Yeah.
there's still not enough of us. The volume of scams that's going on daily, there's still not enough. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So did you realize how big this community was? Like, what was your thought process coming into this?
To be honest with you, I was in that mindset of being at home for so long. I was just looking for an escape for myself. There wasn't really a goal to begin with. I just needed to keep my mental health in check. I'd been sat on my sofa, chilling for the past sort of 8-9 months or whatever it was, and I was losing my marbles. So at that particular point, I was just looking for my own focus. But then slowly over time, and then when I realized that, oh, it actually could be something, and then I carried on, and then the inventor of the computer, that changed everything for me. I went from nothing to all of a sudden learning how to use PCs and
Right.
now creating my own VMs and so forth. It's just opened up every single door possible. It's been great. It's been a focus as well. You know, if you're having a bad week or something at work, you can go home and call a scammer and have some fun. It's
Oh my
not too
gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
bad. Yeah. Bringing
Talking
some silly
about
equations.
talking about keeping your mental health in check.
It is.
For some people, scam baiting is not a way to keep your mental health in check. I think it does work for, you know, me. It does keep my mind off of real life, you know, but I mean, these
Right.
scammers will break you down at some point. You know, you're just
Yeah.
constantly being lied to.
Yes.
I think there was a quote that I think it was Kit Boga that said it, is that no matter what, you always know how the phone call's going to end, is that it's going to be you or them hanging up. Like
Yeah.
whatever happens in between, it's just the
Right.
duration of time. I'm pretty sure it was Kit that said that. And it's that element's always stuck by me, is that no matter what happens in that particular phone call, at the end of the day, you're a good person, they're a bad person. The phone call's going to end with one of us hanging up. Yeah, you know, there's always that element.
Right. Yeah, Nick, I'm a veteran too, and it definitely, you know, like I said, I like actually going after the bad guy.
And thank you for your service. I mean, I applaud you for doing that. But yes, this question is for Scammer Takeout. Nikki, from Nikki. When you get a minute,
When you get
can
a
you
minute,
repeat?
can you repeat what you said about PCH scammers killing people? I joined and only caught the very few. Okay, so PCH, a lot of scam baiters don't take PCH as serious as they should. It's not like the Indian scammers, where they're in India. You know, they may have a mule here and there, but a lot of these guys are in the U.S. Not the scammers that you talk to, but their team is in the U.S. And they will show up to people's houses. They will kidnap their victims. They're not something to play with. And that's all I was saying. As far as I know, I've never heard of a PCH scammer killing somebody, but I wouldn't put it past them.
Right. I mean, you never know. or smuggle. I mean, it's just a scary
Yeah.
situation. That's why I'm glad that you guys do it. And, Deo and so many other people have.
I loved Deo's video about the PCA
amazing.
scammers. I was so happy that he did that because I can only say so much. Deo is so much bigger than me. He can reach a more broad audience, and he shed the light on them pretty well.
Yeah, I like how he's doing the Scammer Fighter. I love that channel. He's doing an amazing job. And I love how they're just short. So that way it's like if you just want to show that to a family member or anything like that. And so again, it's just nice to, like you said, just reach out. But Takeout, you do a great job. And so is Dan. I mean, you both are just blowing up, exploding, and making a difference in people's lives.
I got a cool video coming out Tuesday where I sort of got onto someone's system for a few seconds and saw a number, and we saved a 78-year-old man from fraud. So it's definitely saving people. It's awesome.
That's what I want to do so bad. Like whenever I was talking to you this morning, Dan, I want to be the one that I don't really care about deleting files and stuff like that. To me, it doesn't really do too much. It does mess with their head, but I mean, I want to be that person that's like saving these people. Like I've always said, what's up, Nano Bader?
Hey, Nano Bader.
Hey, there he is.
You must have, his ears are ringing.
Yeah,
thank you for being here. Hey, Sal. No, there's a lot of great people here today, so thank y'all for showing up.
Yeah, we got a lot of love for Nano Bader. I think we expressed that 5-10 minutes ago.
Yes. So again, let's just share how much love we have for Nano Bader again, and then so much. Yes. Thank you for all that you're doing, and helping out so many people. And like you said, he's on the computer all the time. So
yeah. I don't think there's ever a time that I've wrote Nano Bader and he hasn't responded to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe Nano Bader is a robot. Maybe he's not a real person. Maybe this is the thing. He lives in the system.
Yeah.
He's a part of that robo-apocalypse. Hey, Whiskey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whiskey Angelic. Again, it's just it amazes me. I mean, I even had a friend of mine because we watched DVR. That was our first experience, and we started in 2016. But he didn't get started on the computer until then. I mean, it was scammers who helped him get started on the computer, and that's how a lot of other people are doing the same thing. So it's incredible what people are really wanting to do and how this mission is very important and how saving so many people, because we were just talking the other day of how many millions and millions of dollars they're taken away from America, UK. Billions. Yes. I mean, it is so much money. And I think at least if we're just trying to do something in our community and just like you're doing the videos and reaching out and, like with Takeout doing the streams. And Dan, if you do streams, holy cow, that would be awesome. That would be amazing if you did that.
It will be a thing this year for myself. I've got all the equipment now, so there's no point in denying it. It will happen.
Oh, good. Yeah,
it will.
So everyone, please subscribe to his channel so that way then you can get notified, and so don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe. And
putting his link in the chat now.
Okay. Also, if you hit exclamation point Dan, it'll do it all on there.
Okay.
Yes, Nick. He does have a YouTube, and Scammer Takeout just put it on there. And then he also has a Twitter. Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah, Twitter, any DMs anyone's got. I get inundated with people trying to ask me advice for mainly TikTok, to be fair, but it's people getting scammed all the time. And there's been a few weird ones recently where people have sent, unsolicited pictures of themselves to someone thinking that it was someone of the opposite sex or what have you. And something was going to happen, and then that person's like, well, I'm actually a criminal. I'm going to release these to your whole family and everything. It's trying to get the whole element of what's the best thing to do. That's happened a lot recently. Yeah, that's quite a big one. I don't know if it's just people in the UK doing it, but yeah, that's happened a lot this way.
Is there a scam that you want to bait, but you haven't had a chance to yet? Like you haven't been able to get in touch with them?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I've pretty much baited every single scam that there is. Some of my favorites has been the Instagram ones. They give the most bank accounts.
Oh, yes. Do you get
27 bank accounts from one guy in 6 weeks? That's my claim to fame. Yeah,
have
27.
Have you tried Twitter baiting?
I've not, but I do watch HTCH.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah.
I watch him frequently. I'll finish work and come home and chill with a beer, and I'll put him on in the background. It's like the perfect timing.
Oh, that's
and his
awesome.
baiting over there is incredible. Like, generally, full respect for what he does. It's really, really cool, and he's entertaining as well. He's very, very good.
He's funny, and now he's got guests, and actually Takeout's going to be on there. So
I had to reschedule, but I was getting surgery done on the day I was supposed to be on his stream, so I had to reschedule. But the thing that brought up that question that I asked you is, like, the thing that comes to mind for me is the grandparent scam, where they tell they act like the grandson or granddaughter, and they say that this person got into an accident or they're in jail. I want to bait one of those so bad, but I don't know how to get in touch with them.
Actually, yeah, I've never experienced that particular call or anything. Never had that. But yeah, they're crazy.
Just a second.
Yeah, they're crazy scams.
Yeah.
We're doing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So we're doing it's like family and need scams here in the UK at the minute, and it is huge. Like, it's slowly starting to subside, but it's basically a text message scam where they'll say it's hi mum, I've broken my phone, this is my new number, can you give me a text? And then shortly after, they lead on to having a massive bill, and can they pay that and send the money directly to a bank account? And we're killing it, absolutely killing it. Like, Tony Mosh, again, full credit. This man is getting huge volumes of bank accounts from these guys daily, and it's amazing what he's doing. But this one's really, really sort of hitting home. And speak of the devil, I've actually just got a text message from one of them now.
Oh, wow.
It's just appeared on my phone. But we're doing that, and it's not similar to the grandparents ones, but it's something that I'd never really experienced before, and it's just blown apart. And I quite enjoy it because we've always got the feeling of power and superiority over these scammers. We know what they want; they don't know who we are. We're a number with a face and a profile picture. That's it, and they never know that they're talking to us unless the game really gets given away, where we use the same face over a few times, or where they ask the same questions, or just word stuff similarly. It's crazy in a minute with this. But yeah, there's some big stuff coming about these family and need scams. We've had a bit of a recruitment drive trying to get people to help us, but it is sort of starting to subside the past couple of weeks, which is great news. It's great. But I mean, what's the next scam going to be?
Yeah.
I don't know if the grandparents one, that takes some homework to do. Because don't they research their family tree or the Facebook friends and so forth, and go through that? I
thought it was just a random phone call.
Is it?
I'm honestly not sure, because I think the way that it goes is they text a random number, or they call a random number, and then depending on who picks up, they say, hey, this is, your granddaughter or something. They just try to make you believe that you're actually their grandkid, I guess. And then they use the information that the person gives them as a way to go about their scam, I think. Which, I mean, I guess 100%. with Facebook being a thing, it would be a lot easier to actually do some research.
Yeah. There's so many out there. But I mean, what's the next big one? What's the one that's going to take the world by storm?
Yeah.
I'm planning for that. I want to work out what it is before it happens. That way we can get a good head start.
I know.
Text message scams seem to be the one. Because it's down to the individual. Like Jim has always, I think he quoted that anyone can be scammed at any point. And this is where the text message scams really come into action, because you might wake up, be a bit groggy, not really with it, not had your coffee or your cigarette or your wash or whatever it is to wake yourself up. And you see a text message from your local post office or postal service carrier saying, "Oh yeah, attempted delivery." You'll click the link. Where does that link take you?
Yeah.
And it's so easily happening.
Yes, I had that on my text now. And I called them, and of course they didn't answer. But no, I would never, ever click on a link, ever.
No. But just anyone could do it. Anyone that it's weird, because people within the community, they'll know about this sort of thing. And we know that in normal life, you'll have 3 or 4 different email accounts for the one individual person.
Right.
Whereas the older generation, they're like, I've got one email, I've got one number, that's all I need.
Yeah.
And they sign up to anything and everything, get inundated, click a link.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
My mom received the grandparent scam, and my cousin. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope.
Talking about scammers not knowing who we are, like you brought up just a few minutes ago. I always find this thought satisfying. Imagine, you're talking to a scammer like Andy Goldberg per se, because I talked to him for 5 months.
Yes.
Imagine being so hooked on somebody and believing that they're actually this grandparent, and then say he gets on YouTube one day and he comes across one of my videos. I would love to see his face when he finds out I was not real.
Yeah.
That is so satisfying to me.
That's amazing. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Well, some of them do ask, "Are you on YouTube?" No. What's YouTube? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's a new thing for the Indian scammers, definitely. If they get whiffed of it's going a bit like strange, or the person on the other side of the call is acting a bit crazy for their liking, it's just like, "Oh, what's your YouTube channel?" I know who you are. I knew from the beginning. Of course they did.
Yeah, of course you knew.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's why you spent 8 hours with me, buddy. Yeah.
And then they say that they were wasting your time.
Yeah.
You were just stupid.
Let's see. Is this a question? Let's see. Okay,
yes.
here's a good question. Is it safe to open the email, just not the link?
Yeah, I mean, unless something's changed. I always open emails that I think are fishy, but then I'm not going to click a link unless I'm on my virtual machine.
Right.
So I would say yes, you can open the email, but just don't click the link.
Yeah, I'll back that up. Yeah,
definitely.
Never click a link. If you're cautious in the first place and you're pretty sure it's going to be a scam email, just don't give it the time of day. Get it deleted.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll get like fake ones that came from my aunt, and I'm like, I know she didn't send me this link, so I just delete it. But,
I need to pop away 2 seconds. I'll be back. You guys talk.
Okay.
But yeah, talking about an email from your aunt. I got, my mom sent me an email of it was a scam email, and they had her real name and her real address and stuff.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it scared her. So, I had to explain to her that all your information is on these websites. Like there's one website, it's like People Search or something.
Yes.
And they can look up, your address and your name and your email and phone number and all that. So they can find that information, and they're nothing, there'd be really not too much to worry about. But I did hear that to get your stuff off of that website, you have to request to get it off. So I think that's something good for the community to know, is that your information is going to be on these websites, and you have to request, which I think is bullshit that you have to even do that.
I know. I don't like that either. I mean, that's just another step that we have to take for prevention, which they should already do that already.
Yeah. I mean, I've said it before. I feel like scammers are more protected than they should be.
Yes, I totally agree. And it makes me mad as hell.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. In the UK, we try and report bank details. There's the obvious email way to do it. But sometimes if you're a content creator, then you want to get some footage of calling the banks and reporting it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time,
Mm.
especially if it's a new staff member, if you don't own that bank account, then they can't do anything. If you be like, look, I'm a scam investigator, I've got these bank details that a scammer's trying to use, they're using your company for fraud, they just don't listen. They're just like, yeah, call action fraud.
Yeah.
And I take the mickey out of action fraud on Tuesday's video because I've never had good dealings with them. I think I gave up after like 150 bank accounts of reporting to them. I get the same exact email every single time. The same email. On this occasion, we've not been able to. And yeah. But the way of reporting is difficult. It really is.
I understand it to an extent because, I mean, you can call and say, you know, that you can call any bank and say, hey, this bank account is used for fraud, and without any real proof. But see, I would say watching our videos alone should be enough proof to get that handled. You would think. But I've seen success in reporting, but it doesn't happen every time.
Right.
You know,
it's hit or miss.
I feel like exactly. I feel like there's certain steps that need to be taken to protect everybody.
Yeah. Here's a question.
Even whiskey.
Success with working with banking folks. Yes, I've got direct ties with 2 major banks in the UK. I'm not going to share with them because I don't know, it might bite me in the backside. It probably won't. But so I'm working with their fraud team investigators. If I send banking details to any one of their accounts directly to them, instantly, no questions asked, they'll shut it down straight away. We had a spate of bank accounts from HMRC, the early stages of me starting this, and yeah, it got to the point of where the same people I'll be ringing up daily just to be like, hey, I've got more accounts for you. And then it sort of developed into me saying like, look, I've given you like 45 bank accounts or whatever it was. Any chance that I might be able to speak to somebody who have a little bit more power than yourselves? And then it developed from there. But yeah, there is, in answer to that, yeah, we're not working with, but we've got direct connections to 2 major banks in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Because I think that's the helpful things. Right. Yeah. And there will be. I think there will be, especially the more they know and saying, hey, I'm already working with this bank. Can you please help me in dealing with the situation so we can prevent this other person from getting scammed? But that's why I always tell people is like, if you're looking at your family's financial situation, that's why I always say, if you have an elderly family member, look at Rep Payee. You know, that way you can look over their bank information, see what's going on and those kind of things. But still, you know, it's just, but anyways, we've got about 5 more minutes. So I'm sorry that we had to end this kind of short because I've been having a great time with you guys. But does anyone else have any questions in regards to Dan?
Nick has a question.
Yeah.
Where's the banana cream pie?
Yes, that goes with Jane. We had a person decide to join us because I put the public invite in for StreamYard. So we end up having a lady named Jane come on, and she was moving. I thought she was going to ask a question. Well, after I popped her up, it ended up showing a banana covering a member.
Okay.
So I had to remove that person very, very quickly. So that's why if you see where's Jane, cream pie, you know, all that kind of stuff. So that will never be left down. So
okay, well, what I've learned from this is a mental note to vet people before I invite them in as guests.
Yeah. Well, that's why now I do private, so that's why I just send it to like your Twitter account, Discord, after that experience. So, but Whiskey has a question. Not sure if this was covered before, but I joined. But how's exposing the cigarette police going for not having any authority?
That's crazy. Like, I'm getting messages all the time of being like, dude, what's your video? I saved myself £120 today. Like literally a few times a week. Get messages like that. There's people asking for advice as well. It'd be like, look, I followed your video. I ran away, but I got in my car. Can they do anything from the registration plate? And this sort of thing, and it's just, it's taken away. The awareness has been spread. One of my videos went viral in Saudi Arabia, of all places. It's like 23.5 million views so far. It's crazy. 23.5 million. I couldn't believe it. And I get zero royalties from that.
Yeah.
They did post me. Well, they posted my details back to the page. So yeah, I got a few followers. But yeah, in terms of actually educating the public about it, really, really well. It's made life difficult for them, so much so that, as I mentioned earlier on, one of their employees assaulted me. And for me, it's a chapter of my life that I've ended now. That assault was a nice little finish to the saga. Because to a certain degree, it's nice to save people in that respect, but I would much rather be in the nice, warm area of my house and drinking coffee and playing on the PC, scammers in the system, rather than be in the freezing cold waiting for them to pounce on an unbeknownst victim.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Nick, the cigarette police, private company that enforce litter patrol in the UK, and it's just public extortion. It's £120 a ticket. £90 stays with a private company, 30 goes to the council. It's just that they have targets each day, each person. So it's public extortion, basically.
But I will say areas in the UK are much cleaner than areas like here in my state of Oklahoma. So I will say that.
I don't know. I live in a big city, and it's well, I might have to challenge that idea.
I'll show you some video. You never know.
So one more question, Amanda, if you're going to wrap this up shortly.
Yes.
You said that you just kind of sit in the cold and wait for them to pounce on a victim. So do you spot them in the public and then you just kind of wait around and see?
So they're walking around in their big black uniforms that say environmental officer, and their caps and everything, and they've got the talkie-walkies on their side. Walkie-talkies. They've got I called it that all my life. They've got them on them, and big signs that say environmental enforcement, but then 3GS and on the sides as well. They're very, very easy to spot. So if I'm just chilling, I might have a cigarette, might chill with a bottle of water, just have a coffee. Like, I watch them run towards someone, ready to get them, but they will sit there and they will follow smokers because they need their commission. As soon as they get 5 a day, that's it. They can go home, and they get, I think it's 12% on every single fine there afterwards. So like, there's a commission basis on top of it. So the really mad thing is that never do they ask people to pick up the litter. It's always issue the fine on paper, which ironically is going to go in the bin anyway. So it's a double enforcement about the environmental thing. But it's just public extortion. It's only about the revenue.
I think it really turns into extortion when they're making more money than the government.
3 times.
Yeah.
That's what it really is. As I mentioned to you earlier on, is that 120 quid isn't loads, but I mean, it would make a dent in my pocket, and I'd have to, cancel something or not do something for that particular week or month or something, and it would really sort of take that effect. And for someone that doesn't have much money anyway, that could be a bad thing. Like, you don't want to think about where it might take them. So that's kind of why I did it. But that chapter of my life it's done now, and I'm trying to make scam baiting a full-time thing.
Hey, I mean, it did you well. You got to go out with a bang.
I've got a few followers on TikTok. We're almost
just a few. Oh my gosh.
Just a few.
Well, everyone, please go follow Dan on TikTok and go follow him on YouTube.
YouTube. Forget TikTok. That's done.
And definitely and Twitter. Yes. But, again, what you do is incredible, and how it seems like you've always been on mission to help people.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's not doing it for me. It's originally it was a mental thing, but now it's I want to save people and educate and help and support and set other people, bigger fish up. That's what I want to do. I want to set people up the key of social engineering. This guy can talk his way out of jail, sort of thing. So yeah.
Well, again, I've had just a lovely time with you, and just thank you so much. And I hope that you would join us again, because I
100%.
think we're good. We're good, because I don't think 1 hour is enough. And I apologize that we're kind of having to cut this short today. But again, just thank you for joining us, talking about your life and how you started. And again, do you want to kind of finish off with you want to kind of promote yourself and talk about a little bit about your future?
Yeah, please. So basically, I do this because I love it. I get a personal thrill from it. I will most likely, I can't see any reason why I wouldn't do it for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to make it a full-time thing. Public sponsorship and trying to find a millionaire is not the way forward. So I'm trying to find, as with anything, if I can give up my normal day-to-day cocktail job that I do and work sort of 40 hours, 50 hours a week doing this, I would happily do that. It's just, I'm in that transition of where things are just starting to open up, and the stuff behind the scenes is going to be big. 2023 is going to be the year that bigger things happen and change.
Yeah.
Just generally, I'd appreciate everyone's support, and although I might not respond to every comment, I do generally see them. I'm just in some respects a bit late with that, but there's so much going on. It's cool. Thank you all.
Yeah, you're definitely got our support. Definitely got our support for sure. And we just can't wait to see what else is happening and in store with other team members. And
just watch this space. I promise you, there's some cool stuff behind the scenes, like big stuff.
I can't wait. So you'll have to make another behind the scenes videos of how you guys work. And again, just thank you so much. Takeout, again, thank you for joining us today. And
no
always
problem.
a pleasure.
Always have fun.
Well, I had a great time with you guys too. So again, I hope everyone else had a great time, and we hope that everyone has a great day. Enjoy the rest of your evening, Dan. Enjoy those cocktails. And much love to you guys. All right. Thank you so much. We'll look forward to seeing you next time.
All right. Cheers.
All right. Cheers. Bye.